Exercise question 433. Is it possible to design a rectangular mango grove whose length is twice its breadth and the area is 800 meters square? If so, find its length and breadth. Now, this kind of question can be seen as two sub-questions. First of all, is this situation even possible or not? That's the first sub-question. And the second one, if it is possible, then we have to proceed further and find out its length and breadth. So let's assume that it is possible for a while, and let's assume that the breadth. Now, why we are assuming breadth? Because the length is twice. So length is dependent. So we'll put breadth equal to x, and that will make width of that rectangular grove will be twice of x. Now, area of a rectangle is simply length into width or length into breadth. So the area will be x into twice of x. That is given as 800 meters square. So upon simplification, we'll get 2x square equal to 800, x square equal to 400. Now you'll say, okay, take square root of both sides and the answer is 20. Well, yes, but they have asked specifically whether it is possible. So we have to give some sort of justification using the current chapter quadratic equation. And so we will make this as a quadratic equation, and we'll transfer everything on one side, keeping 0 on the other side. Now, this can be seen as a quadratic equation in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c. Bx term is missing. The linear term with x is missing, which is okay. So we'll say that the coefficient of the first term is a. The coefficient of second term, well, there is no second term. The in-between x term is missing. So we'll say b equal to 0. And c is the constant term, negative 400. Now, if you notice, the quadratic equation is this one, and it is this part under the square root sign that is responsible for giving the distinct values of the roots. So whatever is under the square root, that is called discriminant, because that is plus or minus. So that is once added and once subtracted, and that's how we get two separate roots. So who is responsible for creating two separate roots? That is this entire thing. Well, we can omit the square root sign, and eventually it's a b square minus 4ac part that is responsible for giving two different roots for that equation. Now, there are three possibilities. If b square minus 4ac is greater than 0, then we get like regular real roots, distinct roots. If it is 0, that means nothing is added, subtracted. We get the same roots, repeated roots. And if this is less than 0, then taking square root is impossible. So we get like imaginary or complex roots. So this discriminant, which is often denoted by the letter delta, is b square minus 4ac. That is what we are going to check to find out whether this situation is even possible or not. So we'll substitute the value. B is 0, so b square is equal to 0 square. 4 times a is 1, c is negative 400. Minus minus will become positive, so this will become 0 plus 1600, and that will be 1600. Now this is positive, greater than 0. That means there will be something here which will be added and subtracted. So yes, we will get two separate roots, and even more important, we will get real roots. They will not be complex or imaginary, something like that. So yes, this situation is possible. So that would answer our first part of the question. And now we can take this equation and factorize this. Realize that this is in the form a square minus b square equal to 0. In that case, we factorize it as once addition, once subtraction, a plus b, a minus b equal to 0. So this is x plus 20, which is square root of 400, by the way, and x minus 20. So either one of these factor will be 0. So x will be either negative 20 or x will be positive 20. Now, x is actually a distance. So negative values do not make much sense. So we'll discard that value, ignore them totally, and we'll concentrate on x equal to 20. If x is equal to 20, that means the breadth of the rectangular grove will be 20 meters, and the width will be twice of that, which is 40 meters. So not only this situation is possible, we can actually evaluate the values of this thing. And if you really want to check area, which will be 20 times 40, and that will come out to be 800 meters square. So our answer is 100% correct.